Hi guys, General Splatton here. Do not adjust your set. The image does not get any better. No, seriously guys. I want to talk about something pretty serious to me that I've been thinking about for a long time. And I chose this moment to kind of reveal myself, as it were, to the dismay probably of a lot of you out there. But for so long I've been looking at my hobby this way, or at least my painting quality. And also by watching other YouTubes and hearing comments made and reading comments and looking at other websites. What I'm going to be talking about today is painting standards or painting quality. Specifically, you hear so much about people like on that do commission services, or well, I've got different levels. You've got tabletop quality, and there's a level above that. And there's competition quality or gold and demon quality, whatever the case may be. Well, I have a problem with that from the sense that my standard is not your standard. Your standard's not mine. So if I use the term tabletop quality, what I picture in my mind is nowhere close to what you're picturing in your mind. And they could be, they don't meet, in other words. There could be vast differences between those concepts, or higher standard. What does that really mean? How does that benefit us? Well, I don't look at that anymore. I don't think in terms of tabletop quality or higher competition standard of painting. Because, like I said, what I'm thinking about is definitely not what somebody else would be thinking about. Because why? Well, I'm not them. Them are not me. So, when I think of miniature and I think of painting quality, and I think of judging that miniature based upon its ability to do its function, which is look good on the table or in the display case, because this is what we're talking about. It looks good, or it looks bad, or what are menacing, or ever the term you're trying to use. You paint up a creature and it looks very lifelike and real, like it's fixing to jump off the table and hit you upside the head with something. That's what we're talking about here. Well, when the very first video I posted, now I'll give you an idea of what I'm talking about. I'm thinking in terms of what I call resolution. We're all familiar with this. We think of the resolution on monitors, the resolution on our TV sets. Well, we should be talking and thinking in terms of resolution about our miniatures. What do I mean by resolution? Well, let's give you an example. I'm talking about viewing distance as a term, resolution. Case in point, the first video I did was of my lizard men. This little guy right here, one of them. When I look at this miniature, it has a viewing resolution or viewing distance of about a foot and a half. It'd be what you would term tabletop quality, but what does that really mean? But when I say he looks good from a foot and a half, or he looks good from a foot away, you immediately, there's no debate. All of you understand exactly what I'm talking about. Meaning that if I get it closer, well, then you start to see the differences in blends, the blemishes, brush strokes, whatnot. Or that the lack of blending and shading and highlighting, which is what this miniature lacks right here. I didn't blend and shade and highlight. I washed. Maybe a few highlights here and there, or some dry brushing or something like that. But when I say a foot and a half viewing resolution, you immediately get what I'm talking about. He looks good from a foot and a half, or he looks good from a foot away. Yes, he looks good up close, but you obviously see that the standard decreases the closer he gets inside of his optimal resolution. That's what I mean. Case in point, you remember this guy, Skull Thumper? Well, he has an overall viewing resolution to me of about, I'd say, 8 inches. Now, also, you can break this down overall viewing resolution, but also different parts. The reason I give him that is because, like these pants, that has a resolution of about a foot and a half, a foot, because I could have done a lot better on them. I flubbed it. But if you spin it around and look at the yellow cloth down here, that has a resolution of about, say, 4 to 5 inches. His face, about 5 inches. The skin, the blending here, and over on the front, about 5 to 6 inches. The hair, probably or this part here, whatever you would call it, right here, sorry, it's hard for me to see, it has about a 3-inch resolution. I mean, in other words, I get 3 inches away and it doesn't break down. I can't go lower than that because it's got some blotchiness from the wash I used. So that's what I'm talking about when I mean resolution. How close, or what is the viewing distance of a particular part of the miniature or the overall miniature itself. My goal as a painter is I want to get to a 1-inch resolution. That's what I'm trying to achieve. In other words, I want the whole miniature, if I could focus that far, to get, it would not break down. It would still hold its quality even at an inch away. That's what resolution is. What distance does it hold its quality of the painting techniques or the painting style or just the overall paint job? That's what I'm talking about. Like, case in point, the second wizard I did, that cloak has a viewing distance of 1 inch. That means I can get an inch away from it and it does not break down. The paint job is still there. Now, I'm not trying to brag because an overall miniature probably has about a 6-inch resolution. The face, this one has about an 8-inch. The first wizard I did like this, 12-inch, maybe even 1.5 foot resolution. The orb, about 8 inches on that orb. The first orb, about 10 to 12 inches. So the hat, about 6 inches on that hat. That's what I'm talking about, resolution. But overall, for this miniature, I'd say 7 inches. But like I said, I'm trying to get to 1 inch for an entire miniature. I've approached it in parts of a model, never a whole model, not even close. But hopefully one day I'll get where I can have a miniature that looks good from an inch away and its quality still holds up. So that's what I'm talking about here. Hopefully one day I'll achieve that goal. But that's what I mean by resolution. The ability of that model to hold its paint viewing quality at a certain distance. That's what resolution is. Now, I hope I've explained that well enough. For everybody that watches this, I know I'll get quite a few views, or at least for me, for the amount of subscribers I have. I would love a comment from everybody. Let's start talking about this. I think it's a better way to look at a miniature than tabletop quality. What's my standard is not your standard. I talk about that in other videos. This is more objective. This is, take some of the subjectivity out of it, some of the guesswork out of it. Everybody can hold up a model and say, well, that looks good from here. No, it doesn't look good from here. And you can figure out a viewing distance. There's still going to be some because, some people's eye might not be as qualified or as good at picking out details and things like that. But you can still use that as a good benchmark to start off with and go from there. So please, everybody comment. Let's get this talking about this. This is a big enough idea that we can talk to each other about it, share ideas, share views, and get this going. I want to hear from every one of y'all. If it's a brief comment or a long one. I think by the people that have contacted me, especially in personal messages, I always answer those. But I want to talk to you about it. I want you to talk to me about it. I want you to share your views. I want you to share your opinions. Let's just get this going. I think this is something that really could benefit you in your hobby, and I want to share it with you, and I want you to share it with others. I think it's something that can be really neat and take this hobby into a different area than it's ever been before. So, as you please rate, obviously please subscribe, and talk to me about it. Let's get this going. I want a lot of comments from this. I really want a debate and a dialogue going, and tell me what you think and let me know. Well, that's enough for now. I've gone a long time on this, but I'm looking forward to hearing from you. This is General Splatton, and if you're still awake, I'll talk again.